Good morning. Welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is February 2nd, 2017. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. The Washington Post is reporting that American President Donald Trump ripped into his Australian counterpart in a phone call last week. According to the Post, he castigated an Obama-era refugee deal that he described on Twitter as dumb. The Post said that Trump hung up during a fiery conversation with Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull of Australia, criticizing the agreement to resettle people kept in Pacific camps. Australia is considered one of America's closest allies. According to the Washington Post, Trump told the Prime Minister that this was the worst call by far of his 4 conversations with world leaders held that day. It cited him as telling that to the Australian Prime Minister shortly before he hung up the call. Australian government sources told the Australian Broadcasting Corporation that the report was substantially accurate. Trump, in the end, did agree to uphold the Obama agreement, and also, in fairness to Trump, to be balanced, yesterday, not announced until the visit was concluded, President Trump flew from the White House by helicopter to Dover Air Force Base in Delaware to receive the body of the slain Navy SEAL who was killed in the military action in Yemen that Trump had ordered earlier in the week. More than 120 workers, including 2 Japanese citizens, were injured, and at least one is missing in a fire at a huge factory south of Manila in the Philippines. The fire at House Technology Industries was under control, but has not yet been fully extinguished some 24 hours after it started. The factory occupies about 15 acres of land and employs some 15,000 people. According to sources, the fire apparently began when a machine malfunctioned and triggered small explosions in a section with combustible materials as 2 shifts of workers, about 3,500 workers per shift, were changing places. The factory is located in the Special Economic Zone in General Trias, about 16 miles south of Manila. Reinsurance giant Hannover Re has raised its profit guidance for 2017 from 950 million euros to about 1 billion euros. This is after a strong round of treaty renewals at the key January 1st renewal season. About 66% of Hanover's treaties were up for renewal on January 1st, amounting to about 4.7 billion euros in premium. The total renewed premium volume came to about 4.6 billion. Hanover also picked up growth in other areas of about 7%. So they did see a slight decrease, but it's a very slight decrease, and with reinsurance premiums dropping, that was a major victory for Hanover. The CEO of the reinsurance group Catlin has dismissed claims that potential U.S. tax reform under President Trump could result in huge competitive disruption. This would be Mike McGavick on a conference call following the publication of the firm's 4th quarter earnings. He said that while XL would absolutely be for lowering tax rates in the U.S., the idea that new tax reform would vastly change the competitive landscape was nonsense. He said, running these companies just isn't about tax. Sure, we're thoughtful about it. We should be, as we're stewards of our shareholders' equity. But that's not how we compete, and it's not how we win business. He said that our competition are global companies, not U.S. domestic carriers. McGavick's comments came after other executives in similar 4th quarter calls made other comments, including Bill Berkley, the chairman of W.R. Berkley, who has long been a critic of offshore tax breaks, said that he hopes that Washington will revise the tax code to eliminate the advantage it gives to offshore insurers. The Bank of England announced today that it's going to hold interest rates steady and that it expects faster growth in England over the next few years than they had previously anticipated. The central bank's forecast shows that it expects the economy will grow faster in 2017 and 2018 than it did in November, and that annual inflation will overshoot its 2% target within months. Officials reiterated that they're prepared to tolerate a long spell of above-target inflation to keep the British economy on an even keel as it goes through its Brexit machinations. Days of heavy rain have left parts of South Africa underwater. The flooding has been at its worst across the northeastern parts of the country. One person is dead. Some areas are seeing about 2.7 inches of rain daily. Subsequent floods have left a main highway into Johannesburg impassable. At the maximum security prison in the state of Delaware, there was a prison uprising yesterday that, according to some reports, still has as many as 4 correctional officers being held hostage. Now, this is after about 20 hours. The prisoners are protesting policies of Donald Trump, of all things. Apparently, there was a Justice Department reform document that was recently unveiled as far as reforming the way prisons are run. The Trump administration indicated they might not even follow that. However, the prisoners are saying that they expect that things are going to get worse and are looking for assurances from the federal government. And the prison is the largest adult male correctional facility in the state of Delaware. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.